Jai Hind everyone. I am Shraddha Johari, Assistant Professor, IT Department. Today I am going to start the new topic of the Python programming, which is the subject of second year. So today we are going to discuss what are variables and what is the indentation rule in Python. Along with the basic introduction, why we use Python, what is the importance of Python, why Python is different from other programming languages. So one by one, we will see all the topics. So let's start with the introduction. So Python is basically a language which was created by Guido van Rossum and released in 91. And basically it is used for web development and software development. It is quite a user-friendly language and very simple and quite effective while we are designing a website or developing a software. It can also solve various complex mathematical equations in a very simple manner. Its syntax is quite simple. Now, what are the various features of Python? So, as we can see, some of the features are being written on the slide that basically it is free and open source. It is the best feature available with the Python, that it is free and open source. It is object-oriented language and it supports GUI. And it is a high-level language and it is portable language also. What is the meaning of portable here? That is, it is not machine dependent, it is machine independent language. It does not require any kind of machine for the code execution. It generates byte code instead of the machine code. Now, why Python? Why Python is becoming so popular nowadays? Because Python can work on different platforms very effectively. Second, its syntax is very much similar to the English language, which we generally use in our day-to-day life, and we can easily code in Python. And furthermore, we can say that its syntax allows developers to write the programs with fewer lines. As compared to other languages, we have to write a large line of codes for the program, but in Python, code can be written in very less number of lines. So it is very much popular. Second, then Python runs on the interpreter system, meaning that we do not need to write complete code for checking the errors in the lines. We can write few lines and then we can check for the errors. As it is an interpreter based language, so we get to know what are the errors in each and every line. So whenever we want to check the error, at that particular time we can execute and we will come to know how many errors are there present in the certain lines. Next, Python can be treated in a procedural way as well as in object-oriented way or a functional way. So, Python is very much flexible. We can use it in any of the way, that is either procedural, object-oriented or a functional manner. Now, what Python can do? So, what are the basic applications? So, we can create web applications, we can create software, we can create database systems, and we can handle big and complex data with complex mathematical equations also. Example for the code, as we are discussing for printing, as Hello World printing is the very first program in any language we ever discuss when we start with the programming language. So whenever we are writing the code in the Python, there is a single line needed for that, that is print function, and within the parentheses we are printing the string hello world. So this is the only code required for printing the hello world statement in the Python. Otherwise, if we compare it with the other languages, either it is Java or C or C++, we need to add the header files or import packages, and then we need to write the syntax within the main function. Then the code will get executed and we get the output result. But here you can see that we are writing the hello world only in a single statement with the help of print function, and we are getting the data printed as hello world. Next, Python architecture. Now, why we are getting such code, why the Python is so code familiar? Because it is object oriented language and it is interpreted language, and it does not converts its code into machine language, it converts its code into byte code. And byte codes are not machine dependent, they are machine independent. So as we can see in this diagram also, that whatever Python code we write, its syntax and is checked and translator is used, that is the interpreter, and the code is getting converted into byte code. And this byte code will be run on the Python virtual machine, and whenever we provide the input to this PVM, we get the output. So it is not hardware oriented, we do not require a specific machine, or we can say we do not require the same machine on which the code has been written. We can run this byte code on any of the machine which supports PVM. So when we have byte code, we just simply provide the input to the PVM and we will get the output. That is the Python architecture. Now, what task of Python interpreter to execute the Python program? So first step is that interpreter reads the Python code or the various instructions which are being written in the code. Now, if there are no errors in the code, then interpreter translate that code into equivalent byte code, and that byte code is sent to the PVM, that is Python virtual machine, and here again byte code is executed on PVM, and if error occurs during this execution, the program is halted with the error message, otherwise we will get the result. So generally Python is generating the byte code, and that byte code is further running on the PVM, and finally PVM is generating the output. Now, there is an important rule of indentation within Python. Whenever we do programming in Python, indentation is the must thing. That is spaces when we use to create blocks. So indentation is nothing but these are basically used to present or indicate the block of code. For example, if I am writing a condition, if 5 is greater than 2, so what I have to do? In this particular condition is true, I want to print 5 is greater than 2. So for this, there must be an indentation before print function, which shows that this particular code, that is print function, is being written inside if condition. So if I forgot to put this indentation, in that particular case, a syntax error will be generated because there is no statement given in front of condition. So whenever we used to create the block of code, we always provide indentation for that code. And that indentation is not fixed that you have to provide 1 space or 2 space. You can provide 1 space or 2 space or as much spaces as you want, but those number of spaces must be similar for all the blocks. This must not happen that at one line you are providing 1 space and at another line you are providing the 2 spaces and another line you are providing the 3 spaces. The number of spaces must be equal, and for this equality purpose we generally use tab as a indentation. So whenever we want to indent the code, we always use a tab space, which will create the equal amount of space in front of the line. So let's take another example. If, see, here it is written if 5 is greater than 2 and there is a 1 point space in front of first print statement. Second if condition is written and here tab space is written, and both steps are correct. So as I told you, there is no need to, there is no hard and fast rule how many spaces you are using in the indentation, but number of indentation for a single block of code must be same. So in the first block of code, we are considering one space, and for second block of code, we are considering a tab space. So that is all okay. So we will get the output in both the cases, that is 5 is greater than 2. Now, as you can see in this particular example, it is written again, a condition is there, 5 is greater than 2, and an indentation of one space is written here in front of first print statement, and a tab space is written in the second statement. So there is a syntax error, because these two statements will either come inside the if statement, and if you are considering only first statement inside the if condition, then this second statement will be outside the if statement, and if it is outside, it will start from the very much first space, or you can say just below the if statement. From where you have started the if statement, from that point only this second print statement will start, or you just write this second print statement under this first print statement. If you are writing in this manner, it will generate syntax error, and if you do not want this syntax error must generate, then in that particular case, push this print statement either under if or print. Next, we have Python variables. So as we know, variables are nothing but these are the names or specifier or identifiers through which we can identify the data, whatever data we are using in our program. So for naming that data, we require various names, and those names are nothing but the variables, and each and every variable occupies certain space in memory, and that space will depend upon the type of data which we are going to store in that particular variable. So assigning values to variables, what are how can we assign variables? In Python, variables are created whenever you assign value to it. For example, I have written x is equals to 5. So 5 is a integer number which is being assigned to x. In second statement, it is written y is equals to hello Python, and hello Python is a string which is being assigned to y, which means y is a variable whose data type is a string, and x is a variable whose data type is integer. Now, how to assign multiple values, or we can say multiple assignment. So Python allows you to assign a single value to multiple variables in this manner. You can simply, if you want to assign same value to 3 different variables a, b, c, then you have to write a is equals to b equal to c equal to 1. In this particular case, 1 is assigned to all the 3 variables a, b and c respectively. Or if you want to assign different values to different variables, then also you can write it in the single line that is a, b and c in comma separated form equal to data in comma separated form. So as you can see in this example, 1 will be assigned to a, 2 will be assigned to b, and John is assigned to c. So data type of a and b is integer and c is a string. Now next comes with the comment section. Comment section is very much important in the programming, as it defines the documentation part of the program. It helps the user to identify what code is saying. So if third person is reading your code, then he or she can easily identify what is the code on the basis of the comments written. And for this, hash symbol is used in Python code. So whenever you will write a line which is being started with a hash symbol, it will be considered as a comment, which means this particular statement is not going to be interpreted by the interpreter, and it is only for the documentation purpose for the user. So you can write your program like hash, this is a comment, which means this particular line is a comment, or you can simply write hash, this is a program to print hello world, and in the program section you are writing print within function hello world. So what is going to be the output of this program? It will only print hello world. Now, how to identify or how to retrieve the data type of the variable, what we are using. So it will depend upon the type of data which we are going to store. So in the previous example also we have seen that we have assigned some integer value to x variable and a string value to y variable. So to identify or to print the type of variable, we simply use type function. So print type x. So it will print the type of variable which we have mentioned within this bracket. So what is the type of x? The data type of x is integer. So output will be class int. And what is the type of y? It is a string. So we will get the result a string. So it belongs to the string data type and it belongs to the integer data type. So in this particular way, with the help of type function, we can retrieve the type of data which is being stored in the variable. So type function will tell you. So there is no need, as in the other programming languages, we require data type which is being declared, which is being written in the declaration step only. Here we used to write int x equal to 5, which means x is of type integer. But in Python, we are directly assigning the value, and whatever kind of value we are assigning to the variable, we are predicting with the help of type function. So type function is responsible for telling us what is the type of data which is being stored in the data variable. Next, Python is also case sensitive, which means if I am using small a and capital A, both are different. So in a small a, I am assigning value 4 and capital A, I am assigning value Amit, which means in a small a, I am taking value as integer and capital A, I am storing the value as of string. So capital A will not overwrite A, which means small a and capital A are entirely different variables. Next comes the variable names. How to take variable names in the program. So we can simply take the small names as A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z or same, or we can take descriptive names as name, city, class, roll number, university, school, etc. Now, what are the various rules for taking the Python variables? That is, it must start with a letter or the underscore character, right? These are the correct examples which are being written over here. Now, it cannot start with a number. I cannot write 9 age. It is wrong. But I can write age 9 as variable. It is correct. Next, small age and capital Age are different because small a and capital A are different. So these are certain rules which are being kept in mind while we are using variables in Python. Now, multi-words variable names. Sometimes we have seen that we require long names or for the variable name. So we have different types of multi-words variable names. First one is camel case. In camel case, your variable starts with capital. Means you will write capital V, capital N like this. Your variable name starts with capital word. Next, Pascal case. In Pascal case, each word starts with the capital letter. As you can see, M, V and N. All the three letters are with capital. Okay? And in snake case, each word is separated by a underscore. That is the snake case. So these are the three different patterns of declaration of variables in the program. So I hope the concept of variable is being clear to you. Next, we have some output variables. So for output, it is simple that whatever data we are taking in the variable, with the help of print function, we simply write Python is and plus x. As easy as the string form, we simply write Python is concatenate x. So whatever is written in the x will get concatenated with the string written over here. Second thing, if I write x equal to 5 and y equal to Amit, now here you can see x is integer and y is a string. So we cannot concatenate two different or two incompatible data types in the same statement. This will generate the syntax error because int and a string cannot be concatenated. So I hope the concept of variables is clear. We will discuss some new topic in the next lecture. Thank you so much.